Hello and welcome. I am Laura Radnicki of lauraradnicki.com, a craft site with fast, fun, and easy craft projects. And the best part is there's no perfection required here. So we're working our way through the 30 days of Ornaments project, and today is day 17. So today we are making an embroidery hoop ombre Christmas tree ornament. So we're just going to use simple satin stitches in 3 different colors of green embroidery thread and just sew a simple Christmas tree. So we'll see how it works. Our supplies for today are a 3-inch embroidery hoop, and I get them in a multi-pack on Amazon. And if you've been watching these videos, previous ornaments, you've seen a couple that we've already made with these hoops. So I think these are just the cutest thing ever, and the pack is really cheap and they can turn into a whole bunch of different ornaments. So we're using a 3-inch embroidery hoop. I have some cream colored burlap that I'm going to use, but you can use whatever kind of fabric you want, linen or Osnaburg or just anything you have on hand. But I want to use burlap, 1, because I like the rustic look of it, and 2, because I think it'll be easy to kind of go in the holes for our tree. Then I have 3 different colors of green embroidery thread and an embroidery needle with a big eye. And then I have a little bit of twine for our hanging string, and then scissors and a hot glue gun. And I'm going to use the hot glue gun because the method of finishing the embroidery hoop, once I put this, this burlap in there, I'm going to just cut the excess and fold it in and glue it. So I'll show you that in a second, but that's the method. I'm going to use the glue gun to finish off the back of the hoop. So let's get started. The first step is we want to put our fabric in our embroidery hoop. So I separate the outside and the inside by loosening this part, lay the middle section down, and then lay our fabric on top. And you want to make sure that you're putting the good side facing you. So center your fabric there. Then I want to put this, I got to loosen this up a little more now that there's fabric there. So loosen up the screw so that you can open it a little more. And then you want to, oh, still not loose enough. You want to slide the outside ring over the inside ring. And that's what it will look like. So once you have it like that, then you can tighten the screw, and that will tighten the outside ring over the inside one and make it so that it's not going to fall off. So if you want to, you could leave it like this while you're doing your embroidery. And maybe I'll do that in case I need to adjust it. So we're not going to do the glue gun yet. Just scoot that out of the way. We'll wait till later for that part. So what I want to do first is start with my lightest green color. So I take the paper parts off, and I don't know how much I'm going to use, but this is not going to be a very big tree, so I'll just take that. That should be plenty. Thread my needle. All right, and we're just going to use a simple satin stitch, which a satin stitch you just go up through the fabric, down through the fabric, up, down. So it's just straight, simple stitches. It's the easiest embroidery stitch that you could possibly do. And it helps things go really quickly too. So I'm going to start at the top, and I'm just going to work my way down. Now I am not using any kind of pattern or template. I'm just winging it. So we'll see how things turn out, number 1. And number 2, if you would prefer to have a little more planning, then you can sketch it out with a pencil so that you have a little more of a plan of how you're working. So I'm going to do maybe 2 more layers with my light green, and then I'll switch to my middle green. Okay. Let's see, 1, 2, I'm gonna do one more. I'm just eyeballing what about a third of it is. A third of how big I think I want my tree. So I'm just going up and down. That's a satin stitch. So there's the top of my tree so far. The lighting's making it tough to see. No, you can't see it. So I just have a little triangle here so far. And then I'm going to continue on. And now I'm going to have to kind of rein in my stitches because otherwise my tree is going to get really wide as I go down, but we'll just see. I'm just going to kind of knot it a little bit in the back just so it doesn't unravel. I'm going to thread it underneath a couple of the stitches in the back. Now, if you haven't done much embroidery before, the backs of your embroidery projects, at least mine, it's quite hilarious because it is a disaster. It's so messy. All the different stitches and all the different places where I kind of jump around. From the front, they look great, but from the back, it's a disaster. So it doesn't really matter because nobody sees the back. But it is kind of funny to look at. All right, so this is my second middle green color. I'm going to do 2 knots to make my knot a little bit bigger. Didn't make. All right, and then now I'm going to continue where I left off and add my second layer. Okay, so our tree is taking shape. Now we're going to do the last green color, and as I am discovering, which is quite obvious, but I forgot, is the bigger our satin stitches are, the more we use, the faster we use up our thread. So I need to make a bigger, longer piece than I did in the beginning. I kind of ran out of thread in that middle section. So it made tying my knot at the back harder. So one more time, tie a knot at the bottom. Okay guys, so we now have done our 3 different greens. So originally I thought I would just keep it simple and do the 3 and call it good. But I think it's a little bit boring. So I want to use twine, and I'm going to cut a little piece here. It's the same twine that we're going to actually use to hang it. And I'm just going to try and make a little tree trunk. And I think that will add just a little something extra, enough to make it look a little bit more finished. Now, it's going to be kind of tough to, oh, that didn't work too bad. Sometimes when you try to put twine or something really thick through these embroidery needles, it's kind of tough to thread it through the eye. All right, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to just knot this again in the back. Now we want to finish off the embroidery hoop. Fuzz everywhere. So let's trim this around. I'm going to do maybe a 1/2 inch. I want enough that I can fold it over the rim on the back and hot glue it to the inner side of it. Okay, so I'm going to just put glue on the inside rim and fold it over like that. All right, so the last step is to attach our hanging string. So I'm going to take my twine, fold it in half, take the loop, go from front to back. And then I'm going to put the two tails through the loop and pull it tight. And I'm going to tie it and just into a knot, pull that tight, and trim my tails. And there we have it. There is our embroidery Christmas tree in ombre shades of green. So that was super fun. Took a long time, but I think that embroidery is the perfect like Netflix activity while you're watching that, or something that's pretty mindless, especially the satin stitch, because you're just going in and out. Yeah, you have to look, or at least I do, figuring out where the next stitch is going to go, but it is very mindless, and I actually find it almost like meditative. It's very soothing to me, kind of like the whole adult coloring book craze that was big a while ago. So I don't know, I think it's super, super cute, and you can make any kind of different shape with this. You could do like a present, you could make a wreath shape, you could keep things simple, or you could go fancy and try to do something like Santa's sleigh or whatever. So I think this is a really cute little simple Christmas tree ornament that I think fits very well with the whole rustic chic series of ornaments that we're making. So this is day 17 in our 30 days of ornaments challenge, and we're done with that. All right, so I invite you guys to come and check out the Mama Makers Club. That is our craft community. It's totally free on our site, and when you sign up for that, you get access to our free resource library. And inside the resource library, there's pattern printables, downloadable checklists, and other resources that just help you make things faster and easier, with the ultimate goal that you just make more projects, make more crafts, because ultimately that's why we're here. So I'd love for you to come check that out and see if that might be a good fit for you. And if it is, I'd love for you to join us there. And it is totally free, and we have a lot of fun in there. So I'd love for you to check that out, lauraradnicki.com/library. And we will be back next time with ornament number 18. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.